in Fintech, but not the usual stuff you hear about. We're going deep on Fintech for good in 2025. How it's actually making people's lives better, like tech with a purpose, using all this new stuff to make finance work better for everyone. One thing that's really changing things is cross-border payments, especially for families who rely on remittances. Sending money home can be so expensive, all those fees taking a chunk out of what people work so hard for. But there's this really interesting thing happening in Mexico. It's a system that connects banks in the U.S. directly with these small community banks in rural Mexico. And it uses something called the Interledger Protocol, which basically lets different payment systems talk to each other. So it's less complicated and way cheaper, meaning families get to keep more of their money. And fintech isn't just changing how we send money. It's also changing how we lend and borrow, especially when it comes to sustainability. Now, when businesses try to get loans, lenders are looking at their environmental and social impact, things like carbon emissions or how they treat their employees. It's like a grade for how responsible a company is. And this is pushing businesses to be more sustainable because doing the right thing can actually get you a better loan. So it's good for the company and good for the planet. Fintech is even helping gig workers. The people who often get ignored by regular banks? Think about it. If you don't have a steady paycheck, it's hard to get a loan or even build credit. And that's where these special lending platforms come in. They're made for the gig economy. They don't just look at your credit score. They look at things like your work history on those ride-sharing apps. So gig workers can get a fair chance, avoid those predatory lenders, and build more secure future. Now, what about smaller banks, those community banks? They do so much to support local businesses and communities, but they don't always have the resources of the big banks. That's where loan automation comes in. It uses technology to streamline the whole lending process, making it easier for these smaller banks to figure out risks and manage loans so they can lend more confidently, especially to small businesses and startups that might have trouble getting funding otherwise. And that helps those communities grow. Now, of course, we can't talk about fintech without talking about AI. It's everywhere, and it's really shaking things up in financial education. Imagine having a personal financial coach in your pocket, helping you make better decisions. That's what these AI platforms like Clio and MoneyHub are doing. They look at how you spend money, offer tips on budgeting, and even nudge you to save more, all in real time. It's like having a financial expert who knows you really well, and it makes understanding finances much easier, especially for younger people. But AI can do so much more than just budgeting. There are these things called agentic AI bots. They can actually help you save automatically by figuring out your income patterns and finding those little opportunities to put money aside. It's like having a tiny savings superhero working behind the scenes. And when you need a loan, AI is changing how lenders decide if you're a good risk. They don't just look at your credit score anymore. AI can actually analyze your cash flow in real time, which is a lot fairer, especially for people who don't have much of a credit history, but they're good with their money. So we've seen how fintech is connecting families, making lending more sustainable and accessible, and using AI to give people the financial knowledge they need. But what about the human element? Is that getting lost in this digital world? Let's think about buying a car. It's a big decision, and it can be a complicated process. While technology can make things faster and more transparent, having a real person to guide you through it all can make all the difference. Someone who can answer your questions, explain the fine print, and make sure you feel good about the whole thing. That human touch adds a layer of trust that's hard to get with just algorithms. But it's not about choosing between technology and human interaction. It's about finding the right balance. Imagine a world where technology does all the hard work, making things efficient and easy to access, while human experts provide that personalized guidance and support. That's the future of fintech, combining the best of both worlds to create a financial system that's not just smart, but also compassionate. And that brings us to the bigger picture, financial inclusion. Fintech is doing a lot to bring financial services to people who've been left out. We're talking about digital lending platforms reaching small businesses in developing countries, AI tools making investing easier, and even cryptocurrency may be offering banking services to people without bank accounts. It's really amazing to see how fintech is breaking down those barriers and making finance more inclusive. But there's another group that's benefiting in a big way: migrant workers and global communities. Think about the challenges they face sending money across borders, dealing with different currencies, and often not having access to regular banking. It's a lot to handle, but fintech is coming up with solutions that are really game changers, like using crypto and stablecoins. These digital currencies are making international transactions faster, cheaper, and more transparent. Imagine sending money to your family overseas almost instantly, without those huge fees eating into your earnings. That's the power of this technology. But it's not just about sending money. These platforms are creating new opportunities for savings, investment, and even microlending within these communities. It's like a whole new financial system is being built, one that empowers people and helps economies grow in ways we've never seen before. Now, with all this innovation, we have to make sure it's responsible. It's not just about the technology itself, but how it's used. We need to make sure these solutions are designed with people in mind. They need to be affordable and accessible and really benefit the people they're supposed to help. And that brings us to a really important point: ethical innovation. As fintech keeps evolving, we need to make sure ethics are front and center. It's about pushing the boundaries of what's possible, but also making sure this technology promotes financial health and inclusion for everyone. So we've talked about the big picture of fintech for good, but let's look at some specifics. One area that's really exciting is personalized financial management tools. Think about it. We all have different financial goals, spending habits, and levels of risk we're comfortable with. What if there was a tool that could understand all that and give you advice just for you? Well, that's exactly what these new AI-powered tools are doing. They're more than just basic budgeting apps. They can analyze how you spend, offer personalized financial advice, and even help you automate your savings and investments. It's like having a personal financial advisor in your pocket 24/7. And the best part is that these tools are becoming more and more accessible and affordable, putting financial empowerment within reach of more people than ever before. We're also seeing a rise in new and innovative savings and investment platforms, making it easier for people to build wealth. From micro-investment apps that let you invest your spare change, to robo-advisors that automatically manage your investments, there are options for everyone, no matter how much experience you have or how much money you have to invest. These platforms are breaking down the traditional barriers to investing, making it less intimidating and more accessible to a wider range of people. They're empowering individuals to take control of their financial futures and build long-term financial security, something that was often out of reach for many in the past. And let's not forget about financial literacy. It's the foundation of everything we've been talking about. The good news is that fintech is making financial education more engaging, accessible, and personalized than ever before. Think interactive games, bite-sized video lessons, and even AI-powered chatbots that can answer your financial questions in real time. These tools are designed for different learning styles and preferences, making it easier and more fun to learn about managing money. And that's key to building a more financially literate society, where everyone has the knowledge and confidence to make smart decisions about their finances. It's clear that fintech is having a multifaceted impact on financial well-being. It's creating a more inclusive, equitable, and sustainable financial system that empowers individuals and communities to thrive. But it's important to remember that technology is just a tool. It's how we use it that really matters. We need to be mindful of potential risks and always prioritize responsible innovation. That means having open conversations about things like data privacy and ensuring that these technologies are implemented thoughtfully and ethically. It's a journey that requires collaboration between policymakers, regulators, fintech companies, and consumers. We all have a role to play in shaping the future of finance and making sure it works for everyone.
Open banking is another trend gaining momentum, giving people more control over the financial data. They can choose to share their data with other providers, who can then offer them more personalized products and services tailored to their specific needs. And of course, as we've talked about today, AI and machine learning are transforming finance. So we can expect even more personalized and efficient financial services designed to help you reach your goals. And then there's DeFi, which, as we discussed, has the potential to create a more inclusive and accessible financial system. And last but not least, we can't forget about the importance of financial literacy. As the financial world gets more complex, it's more important than ever to understand the basics, so you can make smart decisions and avoid costly mistakes. What are some of the things you're taking away from this? What insights have really stuck with you? And most importantly, how do you see these trends shaping your own financial journey in the years to come? It's something to think about as we navigate this exciting and ever-changing world of finance.
Until next time, keep exploring the world of fintech and all the good it can do.